Hello Bookworms, I'm Becca. Welcome back to another Dinkum video. Today I wanted to talk about how I play Dinkum without hunting. Pretty much since the game came out, I've been hearing from a lot of people that a big deal breaker for them is the sounds the animals make when you're hunting them, or even just the idea of hunting the animals for meat in general, which is totally understandable. So I wanted to make a guide on how you can still totally get a full gameplay experience without hunting. So let's jump into it. Honestly, the number one tip I can give if you are going to forego hunting in Dinkum is to make an orchard. This is really just a good tip for the game in general because orchards are extremely helpful. Not only can they be a one and done type thing, but if you plan ahead a little bit, then it can be something that you can expand over time. There are a lot of benefits to having an orchard. You can sell the fruit for some extra cash or even use it for cooking to make dishes that will extend your stamina and health. If you're going to be selling the fruit, however, I do suggest cooking it ahead of time using a fire or a grill because you will get more dink for it if it is cooked. Once you get the NPC rain, you'll be able to start farming as well. I have found that of all of the licenses I have, farming is probably one of the most difficult ones to level up. Farming can also be incredibly time consuming until you get further along with the license and have the ability to craft sprinklers and stronger farming tools. There are seasonal crops that bring in an okay amount of dink and can also be eaten and cooked with. There are also crops that grow year round. They don't bring in a lot of extra money, but they can be used for other materials like crafting the sugarcane into sugar or using the wheat to make animal feed and flour. The good thing about the crops is that unlike other farming games like Stardew Valley, at least for me, if I'm not watering my crops, they haven't been dying unless the season switches over, and then my seasonal crops will wither away, but my year-round ones will just stay until I'm ready to harvest them. So if you want to prioritize leveling up your farming, I suggest having a huge standing farm of the year-round crops that you can kind of chip away on every day and expand as needed. Crops in the orchard bring in an okay amount of money, but honestly the best way I found to make money without hunting is through metal detecting. If you get the metal detecting level 2 license, it will even show some of the dig spots on the ground. However, I don't think that this is entirely necessary because it doesn't show every dig spot, so I would save your permit points for something else. The one thing I will say about metal detecting is, as tempting as it is to sell everything all at once for a big payout, I highly suggest starting a stockpile of each type of material that you find while metal detecting because you are going to need them later to give to Franklin in order to get vehicles and power tools and to repair the teleportation towers located around your island. You'll also want to save the shiny discs to give to Franklin specifically instead of John because you get a lot more dink selling them to Franklin. Something else easy that you can do almost every day is to take the tasks from a bulletin board. Pay attention to the rewards you get for the different tasks. I tend to pass over any of the trading ones that give you clothing and opt in more for simple tasks that can get me food or money. Once you get a camera, the picture tasks are a good choice because it's something simple that you can do that will get you about 4,000 dink every time. If you're having problems around your base camp with the more aggressive animals, a good alternative to hunting is trapping the animals instead. Not only will this still get rid of the more aggressive animals like the bush devils and crocodiles, but you get paid for every animal you deliver to the drop spot and you get your traps back the next day. With the aggressive animals, you might want to have the drop spot nearby because they will break out of the simple cage that you start out with. A good tip for trapping the animals is to keep an eye on your bulletin board for trapping requests because you get a boost in money for completing these requests. The cool thing is that the boost lasts for the entirety of the request period. So if it's a 2-day request, then you can drop off as many of that animal for 2 days and still get the extra money every time. Really, the only thing you have to worry about if you don't want to hunt is finding enough ore, because the majority of it is found in the mines, which are riddled with enemies. I personally ended up getting a peaceful mining mod to improve my gameplay, but I know modding isn't for everyone, so if you still want to venture into the mines, I'll leave a very helpful mining tips and tricks video in the description below. If you do want to see me showing off the peaceful mining mod, however, let me know in the comment section and I will definitely make a video on it. Anyway, if you're like me and you're just not brave enough to venture into the mines, don't worry, I got you. Remember how we are saving all those items for Franklin? Well, one of the things in his rotation is a quarry that will spawn not only ore, but also the barrels and recycling bins that you find metal detecting. I love my quarries so much. I honestly think that they are such an underrated item, and hopefully I want to expand this area over time. Without going into the deep mines, getting ore by going around your island and from the quarries is a bit of a grind, but it's definitely not impossible. Just make sure that you're marking areas on your map that have ore deposits, even if it's just little bundles, so that you're able to find them when you need it. If after all of this you still find yourself wanting to get meat, but you're unsure how, I honestly get the most of my meat by defending my camp from the occasional crocodile, or primarily from paying attention to the animals as I'm running around. If I notice the animals are fighting, I stay around the area and scoop up any meat left behind after the battle. Sometimes when I'm running around, I'll even just stumble across random meat on the ground. Usually I'll create a stockpile of all of this meat, and after I have a big enough stock, then I'll start cooking it, and I use it for trapping and for making other recipes. So there you go. If you're having reservations about the game because of the hunting, hopefully I give you enough tips and tricks so that you can still have an enjoyable game experience. Hunting is honestly such a small aspect of the game. I don't really think that you miss out on much by not partaking in it. I have to say, one thing that I've really enjoyed about making these Dinkum videos so far is all the helpful tips and information people are leaving in the comment section. So if you have even more tips to add to this, make sure you leave them below. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. That's all I got for you today, and I will see you next time. Bye!